Okay, now here's the positive aspects of a short sale. These are some of the benefits of having a short sale done. First of all, and I think this is number one for most of the people I meet with, it definitely is, but you get to say that you were not foreclosed, and you get to feel like you were not foreclosed because you weren't. You worked out an arrangement with the bank basically stating that given the bad situation that you're in, the bank can win and you can win as much as possible by getting an agreement and finding a buyer to satisfy this debt for as high a dollar amount as possible. The banks do foreclosures when it's in their best interest. They don't do them when it's not in their best interest. It's a reason for you to feel a little bit better about what happened. Many people feel very bad about not repaying everything they agreed to pay. And in this case, when you're not foreclosed and you have an agreement with the bank, a lot of people take that to heart and feel good about it. Number two, your credit scoring. Some people fight in or hang in there and fight the foreclosure all the way to the end and drag it out for a year, sometimes even longer. Well, the whole time they're having negative impacting on their credit scoring when they've had missed payments. If you decide to sell short now, it's kind of like a band-aid, and you can go ahead and get it over with quicker. The quicker you get it over with and get back to making payments on time, the quicker your credit can heal. And number three is the Fannie Mae guidelines. This was also a negative aspect of doing a short sale, but here's the positive side. As we stated earlier, Fannie Mae won't write you a new loan or won't approve a new loan if you've had a short sale within the past 2 years. However, if you get foreclosed, Fannie Mae used to say you can't get a new loan for 4 years. Well, they've changed that to 5 years. So essentially, if you can get a short sale done, you can get approved for a new home loan after 2 years. However, if you get foreclosed, you're going to be waiting 5 years to get a Fannie Mae loan. Okay, so you've heard all this by now, and you know the good sides and the bad sides of the short sales, basically what it is. Many of you might be wondering what the process is and how does it work, and we'll go ahead and take a look at it right now. There's basically 7 steps to the short sale process, starting with notifying the banks of your attempt to sell your property. Okay, you don't want to call the bank and say, I want to do one of those short sale things. How do I begin? You want to tell the bank you're going to sell your property. Tell them about your situation, what you're going through in the form of a hardship letter, and let them know of your attempts to sell your property. They're going to view this as you're attempting to solve a problem. It's a good thing. Don't make any rash decisions about valuation on your property. Hire a professional to give you an opinion on value, and maybe you have enough to satisfy the loan in full, maybe you don't. We'll determine that in step 2 when you market your property for sale. So you're going to go ahead and market your property for sale, and you've got 2 choices, either to hire a real estate company or to go ahead and do it on your own. And if you choose to do it on your own, that's fine, but I would talk to the bank. Most banks are going to recommend you hire a real estate company. The reason they want that is they want it to be marketed and fully exposed as much as possible to ensure they get what they feel is the highest dollar amount possible. They usually don't worry about commissions when they do that. So if you think about doing it yourself to save some commission dollars, you're not going to be saving anything if you sell it short. Your bank will. So if that's the case, ask them what they would prefer, for you to sell it on your own or to hire a real estate company. Number 3, after you start marketing your property for sale, the next thing you got to do is find a buyer. You want to find a buyer as fast as possible. The foreclosure clock is probably ticking. Banks usually don't wait too long until they serve someone who's missing mortgage payments. Typically on day 91 they serve people or start that process typically. So you need to find a buyer as quick as possible. And when you find that buyer, you want to sign an offer. You want to make sure on the offer it has language that says something like subject to bank approval. Okay? You get an offer that's signed by the buyer, signed by the seller. It's no longer an offer, it's a ratified contract. You're going to submit that to the bank. Okay, the bank's going to get that, and one of the first things they're going to do after going through their various processes is they are going to order a broker price opinion because they want to validate the price they're getting. Whatever's offered, they want to see if that's fair or not. They're not just going to give away the property. They have fancy calculations and algorithms they use to determine if it's worthwhile for them to repossess the home or to sell it to your investor. Okay, so usually about 6 weeks, sometimes as early as 4, sometimes as long as 8, they're going to go ahead and make a decision on what to do, whether to accept the offer, whether to turn it down, or whether to counter the offer. Once they have a decision, and if it's accepted, Then you move forward to closing as fast as the buyer can. If it's counteroffered, then the buyer needs to resubmit their decision back to the bank. And if that's the case, the bank's usually a little bit quicker to respond to that, and then you go forward from there. So what we've covered is, how do short sales work? Hopefully that's answered a lot of questions to people who are curious about them. Stay tuned to look out for future videos. We're going to talk about short sales from a end user, just a buyer, a homeowner, or a home buyer looking to buy a home for their family and themselves. And then we'll also look at it from the point of view of a real estate agent, and then we'll also take the point of view of an investor. So be on the lookout. Thank you.